Okay, we're at the end of the book and we have to try out some after reading strategies. This is the point where you're checking in to see that they've understood what you've read. And so there are four main after reading strategies. The first one is summarizing. I'm going to be completely honest. We do not usually ask boys and girls to summarize until second grade on. It's a higher level skill, and it involves the determining importance that we learned about in our during reading strategies, and then remembering those key elements to put together into a short summary. Now, it seems like summarizing would be much easier than our next skill of retelling, but it's actually more difficult for them because they have trouble figuring out what's important and what's not. So summarizing takes a lot of explicit instruction, and again, we might take it out of the text and summarize what we did for our morning routine, or what did we do at bedtime at our own homes, and practice summarizing using a story frame that you'll see in the video below, and then we'll take that later and put it into our text. Now, retelling and sequencing come before summarizing. Sorry, I don't have them before on the slide. But we can do retelling and sequencing with our pre-K and our kindergarten and our first graders. You actually start with sequencing, and that's where we put pictures in order based on the story, events, and action. And most kiddos can do that pretty well. And before we even take it into text, we might sequence, our day, or sequence a time on the playground. What did you do first? What did you do next? What did you then? What did you do last? And then once they're proficient at sequencing, we ask them to use their memories to retell. And so sequencing, we give them the events, and then retelling, they have to start remembering. And when you focus on retelling, we want them to share in their own words the story in order that includes the characters, the setting, the problem, the events, and the solution. And this is where we really rely on their memory to give us as much as they possibly can. And it is hard for some boys and girls, but they do catch on. And with lots of practice and reminding them it has to sound like a story that no one has heard before, then it works out real well. Now, questioning is up there again. I'm not going to go through questioning again, but after the story's over, we want to ask questions that really check their understanding, and also, what questions do they have now that the story's over? What do they wonder about now that they've heard the story? The last part is evaluating, and evaluating is thinking about the story. So you're thinking about the predictions you made in the beginning. Were they correct? You're thinking about the understanding. Did you understand the book? What did you like about it? What did you dislike about it? If you were the author, what would you change if you rewrote the story? What's your favorite part? So those are the kind of connections that they'll make to their own selves after reading the book and really evaluating their thinking and understanding of the book. Below, you can see there's a video for summarizing, retelling, and evaluating. Watch those short little videos, and hopefully this will give you some insight into understanding each of these after reading strategies.